This video was recorded in front of a live virtual audience. Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Today we're going to be talking about Chanel. What a surprise. And Chanel bags. And we're going to be talking about Chanel 19 bags. Why? Because a lot of you have been asking me in the comment section underneath my videos, asking me, Dacob, what do you think about the 19 bag? Dacob, what do you think about the 19 bag? And since I haven't made a dedicated video to that particular style of Chanel bag, I thought, let me make a video so that I can kind of answer some of your questions. So this is what this video is going to be about. Before we get to the video, I would like to thank my members and patrons for helping the Fashion Bunker and my YouTube channel grow. You can also become a member today. Push the join button next to the subscription button. You can also subscribe to my channel. That's the first step towards glory. Subscribing to my channel and pushing the notifications button. And then you can also become a member by joining the channel or a patron on Patreon. superdacob all spelled together. Thank you guys so much for the support and the love. So this video is filmed in front of a virtual live audience, which means that I have my chat colleagues here with me who are going to give me their opinions also on the 19 bag, because I think some of the people in the chat might perhaps maybe even own a Chanel 19 bag. If so, let me know your opinions on it. I will deliver you my opinions on it. Now, unlike all opinions, they are my opinions. So you don't have to... You have your opinions, I have my opinions, but I'm just giving you these opinions because you've asked me to, right? So let's, if we can, let's just quickly fade in the baglet. This is a classic version, not a classic bag, mind you, but it's a classic version of the Chanel 19 bag. Came out, gosh, by now 2 years ago. And it is not a very structured bag. It's relatively soft. It's kind of, it's a very 2010s, you know, from the 2015s type of style. It's kind of padded, soft, kind of squishy. And then it has these really big chains, chunky chains, which are also very typical of the times now. And then flowing the silver, the ruthenium into the gold, mixing the two colorways with the leather attached to the strap so that when it sits on the shoulder, it's not so harsh on the shoulder. Mind you, most of these are hollow metal links. They're not full metal links, so it's not that heavy, but it also cheapens the bag a little bit. And we have this addition of this turn lock, which is the double C lock, in this case with interwoven leather. I can tell you right away, why am I not showing you a real Chanel bag like in my hand? Because I don't have one of these bags, and I never will. I'm not going to purchase it, and I would not recommend purchasing it. Why? Several reasons. Let's just begin from the most simple of reasons. A lot of people, for all the wrong reasons, wish to purchase bags because they consider them investment pieces. But they're not, because either you love something or you don't love it. Don't purchase it because you think that it's going to garner in value in the future. If you're going to do stuff like that, then go into the stock market. Go into the business of buying and selling gold. But a bag is for your pleasure, to use and to have fun with. This, to me, is a particular shape and material and style that's going to age terribly. Humble opinion. It's going to look super dated and old in a couple of years, and you're just going to want to get rid of it. But its value, it's not going to be that high. Just like the boy bags are dying out, and trust you me, the boy bags are dying out. This one too is going to last not so long in the memory of Chanel history and heritage. Furthermore, you see, there are different sizes to this bag. I just took kind of a more traditional shape, medium to small size. This one, you can see already on the sides where the chains are kind of exiting the bag, there's that kind of slit and cut. That's an actual hole. So the flap laying on top, it's not really covering whatever's inside the bag. So let's say it rains. I mean, you don't want to wear this bag in the rain, but if you are caught in the rain, it's going to rain inside the bag. On those sides, you might get wet inside the bag unless you don't protect the bag and cover it really very well. Second thing that is really bad about it is the double C with interwoven leather. That leather is going to kind of just like fall out, and it's going to really degrade very badly with time. It's going to dry out, and it's going to shrink a little bit, and it's going to open up on the sides, and it ain't going to look pretty. Especially that little part where the lock is turned. It doesn't, you see that it almost kind of goes over the leather, so you're always kind of, you're so close to the leather when you're twisting that lock that you might damage it. With time, it could look quite bad. All of the ones, and I've seen at least 30 or 40 of them, all of the bags I've seen, all of the 19 bags I've seen are made in Italy, not in France, which is not a good thing for me. These bags should be made in France, at least some of them. Maybe the more like prestigious tweed versions are made in France, but all of the ones I've seen in leather and the ones I've seen in tweed, especially from that first collection, the last Karl Lagerfeld fall winter collection, you know, and with this whole snow landscape and the huts, the cottages, that's where the Tweedy version with the houndstooth pattern were released, all made in Italy. So the hollow metal chains that I have witnessed up until now, they're very light and they don't feel substantial, which is not the case with the 255 bag, or for that matter, the Timeless Classic bags where the metal chains are actually full on metal. So this is another thing that makes this bag a little bit... The oversized kilting, again, is something we've seen. It's a trend at the moment. This oversized kilting, this oversized kind of macro representation of bags. We've seen it with other brands as well. And Yves Saint Laurent does it too. Will this age? This doesn't matter. I think the zooming in of the matelassé quilting is something that we've seen in the past. It's not like this is the first time we're seeing it. So it's not like the end of the world in terms of, oh, this is going to make the bag age badly. No. What I think is going to make it age badly is the double C with interwoven leather and the proportions it has to the rest of the bag. It's just not well proportioned. It's a very filigrane, you know, like a very delicate and intricate double C with all this leather. It's very petite, and you know, and then you have this chunky, huge matelassé quilting on top of this chunky, heavy chain, which is the total opposite of this delicate little double C. They just clash in a very bad way. Now, somebody who's selling this bag at Chanel is going to tell you, yeah, but you know, we wanted that on purpose. That's why we have the gold chain mixed with the silver chain. I'm like, yeah, don't push it. If something has to be like, if you have to convince me to buy something, that means I don't want it. That means that I shouldn't get it to, from the get-go, because stuff like this has to convince you for that double C needed to be much bigger. If you're going to go for the macro zoomed in matelassé quilting, you're going to go for the oversized chain. You've enhanced the chain as well. Then you got to enhance the double C as well. And you got to create a huge metal chunky double C without the interwoven leather. Then we're getting closer to this kind of concept of a futuristic / reminiscent of the 80s, 90s Chanel bag. The structure of it is not the best. It's a very soft kind of bag, but it has these hard elements, which that softness / harshness doesn't work in this case in particular. Where it doesn't work, and this is the biggest flaw of this bag, is on the top of the, I can show you again here. So on the top here and there, the actual chain is sewn into the leather. Now there is another like patch of leather in between. So this chain is sewn into the leather. So when let's say if you were to hold the bag at the flap and pull the chain over, you would literally strap the stitching that holds this chain to the top flap. It's terrible. The construction of it is so miserably terrible because I don't know. I'm scared. I'm afraid to even lift it because it always looks so fragile and not well conceived. The way that the way that the chain on the top is attached to the upper flap, it just doesn't work to me. Not just does it not work aesthetically, it just doesn't work mechanically. And especially if you buy the bigger versions of the 19 bag, because you're going to end up, you know, the bigger the bag, the more you're going to stuff it, because that's what people do. The bigger the bag, the more you fill it. And then you're going to end up having a very heavy bag. And if you lift it by the top handle, you're going to really, a lot of people are going to tell you, don't use that handle, use just the shoulder strap instead, which in this case, you can see the straps are coming from the outer sides. So that's where all the pressure is when you pull the bag up. But still, okay, you could say, you know, with the bigger versions of the bag, as I said, if it's much bigger and then you stuff it, first of all, the double C is a bit smaller. So in the bigger version, here, it's still too small, the double C, compared to the rest of the design of the bag. But in the bigger versions of the bag, it's even worse. The difference between the size of the double C and the chains and the size of the bag, it's just even worse proportionally. Just to see, it's ugly to the eye. And COCO would have not liked it. Anyway, but back to this chain. So there's that double C again torturing us. And then if you do have a bigger bag and you stuff it and it's really heavy, and then you pull it by the handle thing on top, you might rip it, because if the bag is too heavy and you pull it, you're going to put so much pressure on that knit, on that stitch, which is holding the chain there, and then here as well. And then you could say, well, let's not use that handle, let's just use the shoulder strap. I'm like, okay, fine, and use the shoulder strap. But what are you going to do with the handle that's always falling on the front of the bag? And then you're gonna see like, what do you mean? Just don't use it. I'm like, well, with time, that little thing is just dangling on top of your bag. It's gonna dent the leather. This is in this case, it's a very soft lambskin leather. There are other versions of this bag, as I said, in tweed, jersey, all other different materials. But if you're never gonna use that little handle and you're just gonna let it like lay there, with time, it's just gonna dent that leather. You could say, well, if you never move the chain away, it's always going to lay there, so you're not going to see the dent with time. I'm like, yeah, okay, but you just asked me at the beginning, is it a good bag for an investment? If you want to buy it as an investment, you can't just resell it one day with a huge dent in the front flap because that metal thing is hanging there all the time. You could say, well, you could put it on the back of the bag. No, you can't, boo, because if you're wearing this bag cross shoulder or shoulder strap, then if that little top chain, handle chain, is hanging on the back of the bag, that's going to be pressing into your belly or thigh, wherever wherever the bag is landing on your body when you're wearing it over the shoulder. So that's going to be annoying to you. You're going to feel it as well. And even if you don't feel it, it's going to put pressure on the bag in the back. And with time, your body pressing against the bag, pressing against the chain against the bag, is also going to leave a mark in the back of the bag. So either way you put it, that chain, that golden thing hanging on top, terrible, dreadful. Proportions, I can't. It's a mockery. I find it really ridiculous. And as I say, you know, to me, this is not a Chanel bag. This is a bag that has a Chanel logo on it, but it ain't a Chanel bag, because Coco Chanel would have never made something like this. Let me read a little bit of your comments, because we do have the live chat. I have all these hairs everywhere. Sorry about that. You can't... Audrey says, I saw Super Fake Chanel 19 today on a reseller's Instagram story. It was shockingly good. The only giveaway was the serial code, but even that was very close. Another interesting point, these bags are easier to copy than, let's say, a 255 is. Daniel says, some of the duplicate 19 bags are nicer than the real thing. I saw one duplicate which had no CC lock and the chain was simplified. Interesting point. And also better, because that double C, dreadful. I'm scrolling through the comments. Paul Parker says, is that two-tone metal? Yes. Yes, that is. We have gold and ruthenium. MK says, I hate Chanel 19 bags. It looks so fake. I much prefer the puffy bubble bag from the late 2000s. You mean the cocoon bag that Chanel made? Aisha says, I love it. It looks cuddly. Audrey says, I love the bag you are referring to, MK. I tried searching for one, but the majority made in Italy. I like my bags to be made in France. Yeah, you're talking about the cocoon bag. Most of the cocoon bags are made in Italy, in fact. Factive Story says, I don't have any Chanel bag, but this one looks a little bit bling bling to me. Not my taste. Daniel says, the boy bag is nowhere near as awful as this one for me. Daniel says, I really like the boy wallet on chain. Candy Fluff says, Juicy Couture by Chanel, not my thing. Oh, the shade, Candy. Audrey says, the boy bag is a style of Chanel handbag. Saying to Paul, yeah. Daniel says, I don't dislike the Yves Saint Laurent kilted bag. It does not cost so much. Honestly, I like it too, and I like their the Lulu. The Lulu with the puffy Lulu with kind of chevron, but also kilted. That one is interesting to me too, and all for 1/4 of the price of this one. I prefer, and also in lambskin, by the way. Just another Roger says, I prefer the boy bag to the Chanel 19, at least if you compare both. I'm all for the structure, and 19 is definitely an au revoir. Ooh, cha. Audrey says, personally, I think it's good Chanel have tried to step out of their comfort zone. However, it just screams trendy influencer to me and another fast fashion moment. And let me tell you one thing, Chanel, this is not stepping out of their comfort zone at all. This is trying to make literally a bestseller, a quick buck. This is not stepping out of the comfort zone. This is enhancing the comfort zone. And they've managed, because a lot of, people, victims of the trends just go for this. Where they did try to step out of their comfort zone was a couple of years ago when they tried a couple of seasons. And they tried it for a couple of seasons. It didn't go very well, unfortunately. But the girl bag was an amazing bag, actually. I'm sorry I didn't get one now. But that was stepping out of the comfort zone. Epic fail. Not many people bought them, but they are beautiful bags. Emilia says the double C and the double chain thing going on the double C and the double chain thing going on ruins it for me. I'd love it to be much bigger and fluffier without the logo and added chain. I agree with you. Paul Parker, do you guys actually go out in the street with these bags? No, we don't. That's why we're reviewing them from a photo, because we would not buy. Where are they made now? Not in Italy. No, this one in particular is usually made in Italy. It's all of the ones I've seen are made in Italy. Daniel says, even if the double C is too small for proportions, nevertheless, it screams to me because the design is so ostentatious. Amelia says, have you all seen the documentary about the leather sweatshops in Italy where they treat leather for Chanel and other brands? It's absolutely disgusting. Just another Roger says, number 19 are one of those bags that if you keep using it, you'll end up walking ahead carrying just the chain and the bag itself left a few blocks behind. It got ripped apart. Oh my God, the shade. That documentary is on YouTube, says just another Roger. Designer iBags says, it's funny juxtaposition. Mini bags are in, and on the other hand, so are oversized kilting and logos. For example, Louis Vuitton giant monogram. So true. There is this interesting juxtaposition of oversized patterns, tiny bags. But big bags are also coming back, though. Amelia says, it's the DW documentary Behind the Mirror of High-End Fashion on YouTube. Thank you for the information, Emilio. Caleb says, it's very present on social media, but once lockdown is lifted more, eager to see if I see it out and about as much. Ladies and gentlemen, the ladies and gentlemen I see usually aren't wearing Chanel bags, though. Stupid Lover says, Chanel 19 looks like a cheap knockoff. Next. Ooh, the shade. I'm loving it. MK says, no, not the cocoon bag, Dacob, the bubble bag. Okay, then I got to check that out. I got to Google it. Had to work most of the day, says Melly. Hey, Melly, welcome to the chat, sweetie. What's happening? Oh, Melly, sorry, had to work. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're with us now. It's happening. We're reviewing this gift to humanity. Daniel says, it is disgusting that this bag has been named for one of Chanel's greatest perfumes. Shocking. Well, not perfumes. They named it after her birth date, which of course is also her perfume. But yeah, listen, I also reviewed the Gabrielle bag. Why would they name the Gabrielle bag a Gabrielle bag? That bag has nothing to do with Gabrielle Chanel. Also a dreadful bag. You could check out the review of the Gabrielle bag also on my channel now. Cling. Roger says, you can fall into the social media trap, I'm telling you. You keep seeing something, your brain will start telling you subconsciously that you like it. Luckily, I haven't had this with the Chanel 19. Audrey, I agree with you. We are very susceptible to marketing, and we are herd creatures. We're social herdable creatures. So we follow each other. You know, if somebody likes something, and then we kind of also think, okay, then yeah, that's what influencers are there for at the end of the day, to make you want to desire something because they instigate that herd mentality onto you. I'm Louis says, it kind of looks like a Zara bag. I do like it, but it does kind of look like a fast fashion bag. Totally looks like a fast fashion bag, even though Chanel has been pushing it for several seasons. How long will it last? Let's see, because they're still pushing the Gabrielle bag on us and the boy bag, but the boy bag is not really doing, it's not aging well, you know, it's not aging very well. Melly says, oh, this bag, oh. Robert says, this bag is whack. Melly says, I missed the 90s part, didn't I? Yeah, Melly, you did. Robert says, meh. Audrey says, Robert, huh? Okay. So Paul Parker says, oh, or does Zara look like Chanel? Good point, Paul Parker. You know, these fast fashion brands do copy the major luxury brands, but there comes a point where at a certain point things can flip. And in fact, Emilio says she's giving Zara realness. This bag is giving a Zara realness, but there comes a point where these things flip. Big example. I know this is not necessarily fashion, like fashion collection related, but it is related to fashion nevertheless. When the TV show Dallas came out, it was really low budget. Then they got more and more budget, more and more money, and then they became very fashionable. And then a TV show that started after Dallas was a Dynasty. And then Dynasty copied Dallas in its concept, but at a certain point Dynasty got better fashion than Dallas, and then at one point Dallas started copying Dynasty, even though Dynasty's inception was to copy Dallas. So similar can happen with fast fashion and luxury fashion. Yes, fast fashion copies luxury fashion, but there comes a moment where luxury, it switches over, and sometimes luxury copies fast fashion too. Audrey says, the more I look at it, the more I think it should be a baby changing bag filled with nappies and talc. Aisha says, seen lots of Chanel type stuff in Zara, especially the Handtooth check stuff from Carl's last collection. Yeah, they did copy that a lot. Yeah, I bought a few pieces of it, says Aisha. Cha. Amelia says, well, that's what fast fashion brands do. They copy recent styles and collections from. Yeah, but it happens also vice versa, you guys. It's happening more and more often that also luxury brands start copying fast fashion. It's all a big mess. Daniel says, I used to love Dynasty. Joan Collins was fabulous, as Alexis. And Joan Collins used to wear Valentino, like nobody else. Just another Roger, with all the burning comments of 19 here, it got reduced to ashes. Yes, she is ashy. She is ashy. She needs to nourish. She needs a cream. Rest in peace, says that's just another Roger. Oh, Jam says, Dacob, what's the bag called that you own from the 90s? It's brown and you call it the bum bag. It's called the 2005 Millennium bag. So much shade. I love it, says Robert. The Millennium bag, yes. Yes, Alexis in Dynasty was incredible, you guys. In Valentino, amazing. To die for. Audrey says, Dacob, we're all really upset as we were going to put together and buy you a Chanel 19 for your June birthday. Audrey, I love the shade. Could you imagine? Thank you so much. It's the thought that counts, doesn't it, darling? Yes. Thank you for the 19 thought. Turn the 19 into a 255. It's still a number. They're pretty close. Number-wise, pretty close, but very different concepts. Thank you. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've liked this review. I know it's been a bit shady. And again, I always say, you guys... don't you fret none. I say this often, you know, a lot of people feel offended if I don't like a bag that they like. That doesn't mean I don't like you. I just don't like the bag. I still like you. You're a human being. Of course, I like all people. I just don't like this bag. So to each their own, you know, don't be angry if it's not necessarily the bag that I like, but it is the bag of your dreams. I'm happy for you. You should be happy. If you love to wear it, wear it. Enjoy it thoroughly, you know, with my blessing and all my love. I wish you all the best with the bag. It's just not my cup of tea. I would not buy it, and I will not buy it. And to me, as I said, this is not a Chanel bag. This is just a bag with the Chanel logo on it. So you guys, I would like to remind you again to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for fun. can be bag videos, but also perfume videos, fashion videos. So subscribe now and push the notifications button. You can also join my channel and become a member, get extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon. You can become a patron on Patreon, Super Dacob all spelled together on Patreon, but you can also join me on Instagram, Super Dacob all spelled together on Instagram, and you can follow me on my 2 Chanel dedicated Instagram pages. One is dedicated to Coco's life. It's called Coco Chanel Privé, all spelled together. And the other one is called Coco Chanel is in my house, where I showcase my Chanel collection, my Chanel pieces, as well as what the Chanel brand is up to these days in terms of fashion, accessories and perfumes, cosmetics, all sorts of things related to the Chanel brand of today. So you guys, it's been a pleasure to talk about yet another wonderful bag. It was a bag moment. What can I say? It's one of those rare instances where I take one for the team, because usually things I don't really like, I don't review them, because I don't like to kind of just spread negativity out there. But since a lot of you have been asking me to give my opinions on this bag, I don't want to type in the comment section always an answer, you know. I thought, let's make a video about it so I could like let people give you the link, and then you could like hear my opinions on this bag. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much to all my loving viewers and co-reviewers in the chat. We have shot this video live, by the way, so thank you so much for that. And never forget to never give up on love. Until next time, and until the next bag has been reviewed, I shall see you soon. I just said never give up on love, so I gotta... Until the next... Okay, let's do this again. Until the next time, and until the next bag will be reviewed, never forget to never give up on love. Love you all. See you soon. Take care. Bye.